record on this computer. All right, we're recording. Cool. So I'm really excited. I just shared with a few of you that we have a special guest speaker today, Molly. And I have to read all this. She's a former accountant, which I love numbers and worked in finance, so I can definitely relate to that. She's been coaching for 5 years, superstar diamond coach, 1-star and a 1-star, 3-time elite, Success Club for 58 months. And Cass, I don't know if you know this, but she's from Minneapolis. Cass lives in Minnesota and married to Steve, 1 daughter who's 1.5, and she has a baby on the way in July. Congratulations, Molly. And we have our Superstar Diamond Mastermind every week. And she reached out to me and was like, hey, would you speak to my girls and that are pushing for like Star Diamond and Elite? And I was like, of course. Will you speak to those that are pushing for Diamond and multiple diamonds? And she was like, yeah. So here we are. I'm really excited. She's going to share with you more today and talk about inviting, which I think is a topic that we're always learning so many different techniques and strategies from different coaches, and being reminded of maybe things we've forgotten about before. So I'm going to allow Molly to just dive in and share so we get the most of her time. Thank you so much for taking time to be here with us.
Of course. I'm so happy to be here. And it's probably like a lot of you. So my husband and I are both home working right now. And then we have our daughter, Kate, who sometimes naps and sometimes doesn't. So right now I just like handed her to my husband because she's not napping today. So it's like, dang it. But it's kind of wild right now. I'm sure it is for a lot of you, but it's the beauty of this business, right? Is you kind of sneak it in and make it work when you can. But I'm excited to talk about inviting. I know it's kind of boring, but I'll try to spice this up because I have literally built my business on inviting. And I think any coach would probably agree with that. But I will caveat it with, I don't have a very big following. I got to 15-star with, under 10,000 on Instagram. And so inviting has been like my secret weapon, my lever for sure. And relationships and inviting. So I'll talk about exactly what I do. I think it's really simple and I think it's really straightforward. Different methods to this, but hopefully you can take some of what I say, maybe tweak some of what you're doing or take more action with what you're doing. And I think inviting is the lever that it can catapult your business, you guys. It's like the ignition. So first of all, a little bit around the mindset of inviting. And I know all of you you're pushing to diamond, correct? Or you're working to get diamond in a second business center. Okay. So raise your hand if you're emerald right now. Okay, got it. And then raise your hand if the rest of you are trying to advance a secondary. Okay, perfect. So this is your ticket, is inviting, because I'm guessing a lot of you are doing good posts, you're doing social media, you're getting your own results. But this is the lever of your business. And what I always tell my coaches is your posts and your stories on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, and your inviting all have to sync together. So some of my coaches are so good at posting, and you would look at their posts and you'd be like, man, like you should be like 5-star diamond at SC50 every month. But they're not even at Success Club. And it's because they're missing the piece of inviting. So, and then on the flip side, I have some coaches who will invite like crazy, but then you go to their social media, their storefront, and you have no idea that they're really a coach or that they're getting results or that they're getting other people results. And so their invites kind of just go unnoticed because I'm sure people look at them and they're like, what are you talking about? So it's really important that the two work together. If you look at one time in your business where maybe you had your highest Success Club month, or maybe you advanced to diamond for the first time, and then maybe now you're in a different place, or maybe you've fallen or you dropped rank or whatever. I find that for my coaches and myself, it all goes back to I stopped inviting, or I took my foot off the gas with inviting. And, I'm 5 years into this now, and it's still the thing that brings in the people for me. It's not like, people just flood into me. creating content and posting and getting in our challenge group. I always say that's the fun and the glamorous part about coaching. Inviting is the gritty part. It's that part that nobody can see you do behind the scenes. It's the part that maybe you do late at night when your kids are asleep or early in the morning. And it's like nobody can really tell that you're doing it. You're not doing it. And so it becomes that thing that can kind of get skipped. It's like your workout, and you can skip the warm up and the stretch. You can cut corners and just say you did it. Inviting is kind of the same thing, but if you can train your inviting muscle, it gets easier and you get quicker at it. And, I find my coaches that haven't done it at all, and then they start, they're like, oh, this is what it's like. But then after a couple weeks, they're like, okay, I'm getting in the hang of this. I'm finding my rhythm. I'm finding what works for me. My voice is sounding more like myself, and I'm not afraid to do this. And now I'm doing it faster and better. So it really does get easier. It's like a muscle. I learned this from Sammy Glonick. I'm sure you guys know her. She's a coach, and she taught me this analogy, and it's just always stuck with me. And the analogy is that some people will see a public invite to, say, your birthday party. Like if you were to put a birthday party post out to Facebook and say, hey guys, I'm having a party on Friday. I'm turning 30. Would love if y'all could come over. Message me for the details. You probably wouldn't have that many people message you, right? Like people would be like, oh, that's like cool. Happy birthday to her. But like, I don't really know if that's towards me or someone else. But if you would send that DM to Brooke and say, Brooke, hey, it's going to be my birthday on Friday. I know I haven't seen you in a while and we haven't chatted in a while, but I'm having this party. I would love if you can come. Like, let me know if you want the details. Brooke would probably be like, oh, hey, thanks for thinking of me. And we have to think of our inviting in the exact same way, because there are a handful of people that will respond to a public social media post invite type thing, but then there's a whole bunch of people that will not, and that they're like, they don't even know you're thinking of them. So I find that when I send personal invites, a lot of people will respond with, thank you for thinking of me. Or some will even say, I've been waiting for you to ask. And when I get that, it's just like, gosh, like you got to invite everyone that you're thinking of, because they might literally be waiting for the invite. And we just, it's a skewed mindset that we have with thinking like, oh, I'm just scared to invite them. Maybe they're scared to respond, to reach out to you. It goes both ways. Focus. So when I sit down and do this inviting process that I'm going to talk about, I get really focused. And so I really try to do it when like there aren't distractions around me. I'm not someone who can multitask well. So when I'm doing my power hour, I don't have like friends on in the background. I'm not sitting in my bed. I like to sit at a table or at a desk with my name list. And like, I like to just tune out. I don't like music in my ears. Some people do, but I like to really be focused. I turn off the notifications. I'm not looking at other people's Instagram stories or like scrolling social media. And I find that when I do this, you can get through so many invites so fast. Most people are just distracted, right? Because it's like squirrel city out there. And so when you're going to invite, like really invite, I like to personally make my name list ahead of time, and I'll tell you like how I know what names to put on there. But I use the Beachbody tracker, and it's like super basic for me, but you'll see I have the names, and then I have some highlighted, and the highlighted one, the ones who said like, yeah, shoot me more info. So I'm a pen and paper girl. And then once they're in my funnel, I get them in my Gmail streak. But that is how I do it, and it works for me. And we can talk more about tracking, but at the end of the day for that, it's just, you got to do what works for you. So I'm going to spend the first half of these kind of tactics talking about how I invite to challenge groups, and the second half, how I invite to coaching. And you guys, if you're like inching towards diamond, I think it's easy. I think you could do it so fast with signing up DCs right like today, like by the end of the week. And if you're like, oh, I'm like 5 people from Diamond or 4 people from Diamond or whatever, it's like you could seriously get that done in the next few days. Like if you just go balls to the wall on inviting, which is cool because it's like your superpower. So I'm going to talk about these in the order of best return. And I have a sheet that goes with this, so I can send that to Christy. So don't feel like you need to write out every single thing. But I think this will get your wheel with like, oh, okay, I a lot of people that are on the cusp right now that like that's your hot hitter stuff, right? So order of best return, follow-ups. Follow up with people who have been interested in the past or who have asked for more info in the past. My coaches are always like, oh, I just don't want to be annoying. Like I already followed up with her once. You guys, it takes people a long time. Like my coach had to follow up with me, I think like 4 times. And some of them were actually like in-person crossings. But a lot of people need multiple follow-ups. I have a beauty counter girl. I like giving this example. I order beauty counter stuff from her, but she literally has to bug me like 7 times before I place an order because I open it and I forget. And I open it and then I look at it and I forget. And then I'm like, oh, I'll do that when I can get my card out, you know? And so I always tell her like, Brittany, just keep bugging me. Like I just forget. And so to me, it is not annoying when you are following up as a coach. It shows diligence and professionalism, because quite frankly, if you're going to keep them accountable, like we have to know how to send a follow-up, you know, and be confident in that follow-up, because that's what we're going to do for them to help them get results or to help them build a business. So if you have a link out, start with those people. Like share cart links that you've sent in the past and then they ghosted you, or, you know, all the things that just happen. I always follow up with those within 24 hours. And even if you have them like maybe from a couple of weeks ago and those people have still been like slow, especially given all that's going on and there's a lot of distraction right now, I just say something like, hey, I know things have been crazy. Like life is totally crazy over here. I just didn't want you to think I had forgotten about you. I didn't see your order come through yet. And I just want to make sure the link did come through okay. I hope your week is off to a great start. Something like that. And then, okay, so say I send that and then they still don't respond or something. I'll be like, Ash, I'm going to take your name off the list. No big deal. I just don't want you to think I've forgotten about you. Just want to give you one last reminder. Or is there anything else holding you back? Like if I've followed up a bunch of times, that's kind of how I close loop it. But if a link is out, like follow up, fast follow up. Same thing with a new group. So we have a launch happening today. I don't know if you guys have like a 10-round specific group or when your challenge groups kick off or how you guys all do challenge groups, but I have a group starting on Monday. And so today, a lot of my follow-ups are going to be, hey, Ash, I hope your week is off to a great start. I know we didn't end up getting you set for our last group, but I'd love to get you plugged into the group I have starting Monday. I know it's a super crazy time right now, and a lot of people are needing this as a positive outlet more than ever. Are you interested in joining in this time? Something like that. And that's Molly's voice, right? So you got to make it sound like you, but I really like to use names. People love the sound of their own name, and I think it's really important. I don't do a lot of like, hey girl, like copy paste stuff. I mean, these are kind of like copy paste, kind of scripted. I can go fast, but there's a personal touch, right? And people can feel the personal touch, and it's going to make your response rate so much stronger. I'm not looking in the chat box, you guys, but I will kind of after I finish this part, because I just get distracted. Fly on the wall. So this is kind of a fun one if you have people who are just like ghosting you, right? Which you guys, that is totally normal. Just think of me ghosting my beauty counter girl. And I love her. I just like forget. I say, hey, Ash, I swear I'm not trying to be the fly on the wall that you want to swat, laugh out loud. Just didn't want you to think I had forgotten about you. I have the new boot camp coming up. I haven't heard back from you. Before I take you off the list, I just wanted to check in one more time. Are you still interested in joining, or are you all set right now? So it's kind of like, are you in or are you out? Because you just want to know, right? If they're kind of like poop or get off the pot type thing. So those are your hot hitters. Like that's my section that I could probably send those follow-ups out to like 100 people today, you guys, and get to Success Club 10. You probably all could, right? And you could probably all pop to Diamond by Thursday just by going to your name list from the past, finding these people that you've already built the relationship with and that have already shown interest. And now you got to go, have a little bit of persistence in a professional way. The next section is people watching your posts and stories. So I like to think of this as these people are already coming to your house, right? They're already over there. They're already checking it out. It's up to you to invite them in. And I do go kind of for the fast invites with these people because to me, I have built a relationship through my stories, through my posts. They see what I'm doing. And so I don't think of these as cold invites at all. I don't really believe in cold invites at all. I don't do them. I don't like them. But I will send a quick invite to people who have been already engaging with my stuff, if that makes sense. So, and please don't neglect Facebook. I don't know where you guys are all building, if it's Instagram, Facebook, or other, but I find my coaches love to hide out on Instagram and like do all these cute things in their stories. And that's fun, but Facebook, you guys, like those are the people who know you, like you, trust you. And if you're going to Diamond for the first time, that's where almost all your people are probably going to come from. I mean, I know this isn't in every situation, but all my new coaches, when they hit Success Club, I ask them, where did your people come from? Facebook. They saw my Facebook post. And so personally, I guide my coaches to post the same thing to both platforms. And just don't skip out on Facebook. And I know it's scarier probably because you have like Uncle Joe and Aunt Sarah over there who you're like nervous to post in front of, but you never know. Like those are the people who like are at Thanksgiving dinner who they might be really interested in what you have to offer. They like you. They know you, they trust you. And if one person says something snarky, like, you know, whatever, we do PD for that. You're very warm. And an example of an invite that I would send, just your wheels spinning. I love sending thank you messages. So I start off with, hey, Cassie, thank you so much for the love on my progress. Like loving this new program. It's really helping me relieve stress right now. And I feel like I can get all my frustrations out during my workout. Not sure if you're just showing love or if you're interested in trying something new right now. Would you like me to shoot you some info? So thank you. Tell a little bit about the post that you're referring to or the story that you're referring to. And then not sure if you're just being a cheerleader or showing love, or would you like some more info? And honestly, you guys, that invite goes very well for me. I put my own spin on it. Sometimes I add something personal. You know, I'll check out their page and add something personal from it, but it's great. And a lot of times they'll be like, nope, just showing love. And that's fine because it's a seed planted for the future. And now the door is open for the future. The next pot of people that I find people sometimes just skip over is your very warm market. So again, this would be for those of you going to Diamond for the first time, your close friends, your sister, your cousin, you know, that college friend that you maybe haven't connected with in a while, but they love fitness and you think they would really like this. Like, don't be afraid to just send a text or send a message to them directly, even if they haven't liked a post, because these are the people who would probably do anything for you. So just careful not to skip over them because those are your people. Like, and I mean, I would be, here's a good analogy. If your friend's opening a restaurant and they're like, hey, can you come to my grand opening? I'd love your support. I would be there. I'd be like, yeah, I'll come to your grand opening. That is cool. You could say the same type of verbiage for, you know, your coaching business. I would love your feedback. Would you be willing to join my group for this first time, kind of see if you like it? I think you would love it and I'm loving this. Do you want me to shoot you the info? And this is stuff I don't even like to give a script or an example because it's like those people in your bubble who you could text right now and, you know, they'd probably do anything for you. The last method that I use to invite to challenge groups is the ABC method, or printing your Facebook friends list. And I will caveat this with, I don't really care for this myself, but I have had some coaches that have done this, specifically printing their Facebook friends list. And like, you can do that. You can go to friends and print and you can highlight and you can go through and like, you know, work through it A to B or A to Z, however you want to. This will not likely be as quick of a turnaround, you know, and to me, this is where you could come off as a little bit like, whoa, I haven't talked to you in forever. I mean, do it whatever suits you, you guys. But like, I know there are a lot of coaches who have a lot of success with just getting numbers out. And for some of you, that is probably what you need to do, is just up your numbers. So that can be a good method. I have gone through my Facebook friends list, and I do always find people that I'm like, gosh, I've never met her. Like, I can definitely reconnect. So it's, and A to B or A to Z. Hey girl, like, I know you've been following me for a bit. Appreciate it so much. I just want to let you know I lead these boot camps. They're focused on, daily workouts, making a priority, clean eating, and personal development. Would you like me to shoot you some info or something like that? Things that you can do to add a sense of urgency. Testimonials are huge. Like, every time I post a testimonial, I like to feature someone on my Facebook personal page once a week. I'll do like a shout out post of one of my girls, and I'll kind of tell their story. Pretty much every time I do that, I have one person who does reach out to me, and they're like, hey, I saw like those results. Can you tell me more about this? So testimonials will just, I don't think they will ever get old. I mean, it's what Beachbody was really built on, right? Like infomercials and stuff. And I just think they're so powerful. And same thing in my Instagram stories. Before I do like a, join my challenge group or whatever, I always put up a few before and after photos of myself and of others. And then I will do like the Instagram name list with the swipe up. The name list in the story works really well for me. Like, that is how I can add a sense of urgency. And if, let's say you're looking for, 10 people this month, or you need 10 more people, get that name list going of 10 people and let that be your own motivation. Like, I am going to fill these 10 spots. And then every time I fill a spot or a few spots, I put up a new one. And that just, it's still working for my people. And I mean, I really do try to stick to it. Like, I think of how many people I want to help, and then I get my story going. Okay, I'll check out the chat box because I'm going to switch gears on inviting to coaching. Ooh, 33 chats. Yeah, when I want results myself, I search for testimonials. Totally. Facebook is where I get people. Same. Christy followed up with you for 3 months. Laser focus first thing in the morning. Yes, I do like to do it when people are not online. Like, I like to do it in early morning or late at night, because then I'm just like, they can see it when they wake up next. But everybody's different, you guys. And I had a coach ask me, is it like distasteful to send messages at like 5 a.m. or something? My personal take is no, because I think people are just like, I think they put their phone on silent for one when they go to bed. And I just think you can do it whenever works for you. That's the beauty of this business. One of my mom coaches, she's doing her podcast at 3 a.m. when she's pumping right now. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, if I got someone, I'd be like, oh, she's probably pumping. I think you just got to do you and not overthink it. All right. Inviting to coaching. So I know Christy said she invites primarily just right into the business. So maybe that's how a lot of you do it. But bottom line is, if you don't invite to coaching, you'll never have working coaches. So trust me, you can get to diamond with just doing what I just said and building, preferred customers or discount coaches, whatever you guys call them. But if you want it to be stable and income producing and fun and a team and all of the things that go along with what Christy has created for you guys, you gotta invite people to the business. And you guys are probably pretty fearless with that, given it sounds like that's what Christy does. So I'm sure she's taught you amazing things when it comes to this. Most of my coaches come from my challenge groups, and it's very personal inviting that I do with them. So I'll give some examples. But I invite every single challenger to the coaching opportunity, even the quiet ones, even the ones that are MIA and I haven't seen them post in the group. I invite every single challenger, because some of my rock star diamonds are people who were quiet challengers and they barely posted in the groups. but they are amazing coaches. And so you can't let their engagement in the challenge group be like a deviant from, oh, I'm not going to send them an invite. You know, obviously if they're having an awful experience, I probably wouldn't invite them to coaching, but most people aren't having an awful experience because you're giving them a good one. So from your challenge group, even the quiet ones, don't make an excuse for them. Don't make an excuse for them. I know it's so easy to be like, gosh, she's so busy. Or, oh, here's one I heard today from one of my girls. She's in healthcare. I just don't even want to bother her. And I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, let's be compassionate right now. But I have some coaches that are in healthcare right now and they're crushing it. And they're like, Molly, I don't know how many times they've told me, I'm so glad I have this right now. It is like my positive outlet. So, I mean, just don't discount anyone. Like my coach could have said, oh, Molly, you know, she runs marathons and she has a good accounting job. Like she doesn't need this. She doesn't want this. But I did. I wanted fulfillment and I wanted like something outside of the life I was living. So you just never know. Think of what would make them a good coach and why they might need this. Those are the two things I ask myself before I invite everyone. What would make them a good coach and why would they need this? So these could be people that you know, that are people that are in your challenge group. So let's talk about that for a second. I have a girl in my challenge group right now. Her name is Amy. And she has actually become a coach, but she just became a coach last month. And my invite to Amy was like, she's in healthcare, she's a nurse. Like, Amy, you are crushing this challenge group. Like, you're up every day at 5 a.m. checking into the group. That is freaking impressive. I'm not sure if you've thought about coaching like I do, but you are already inspiring the entire group, including myself. Like, would you like to learn more about it? So pretty simple, but very targeted towards Amy and the qualities that she has that are making her good at this. I have a coach, Katie, who was in my challenge group for maybe 3 days before I invited her to coaching. But she was showing up in there, not like a crazy rock star, but she was showing up. And Katie's a stay-at-home mom. And my invite was, hey, Katie, I know you're just getting going with this, but I can tell that you're loving it. And I know you're a stay-at-home mom, and I work with a lot of stay-at-home mamas, and a lot of them find they just need something for themselves and want a little more fulfillment amidst everything else you have going on. Have you ever thought about coaching and joining this community? And that's why Katie joined, because she was like, I need something for my own sanity. And so, and then I also mentioned income opportunity to her. Like, it can be a great way to contribute to your family financially, and still like be a stay-at-home mama to your kids. And Katie legit joined because she wanted income and because she wanted community. So I make my coaching invites really personal. I have a coach named Alana who I used to run with in college. And she had not been in my challenge groups, but I kept thinking of her for it. And so I sent her a message. This was like a long time ago. She's one of my first coaches. And I said, Alana, I know we haven't talked in a long time, but I miss you and I miss doing fitness with you. You've probably seen I'm doing this coaching thing. It's all online. I think you would absolutely love it. And it's a way to kind of fill your fitness cup and help others earn some side income while helping people online. Like, do you want me to tell you more about it? And so just think of those people and think of why they would make good coaches. But I think the message of like, hey, you should do this with me, you'd be amazing at it, that's not personal, right? And it's kind of like, okay, like, cool, but it sounds very generic. And so when you can plant seeds on why people would be good at this, that's what makes them go, huh, it plants their seed of belief. And even if they say no right away, which they probably will for XYZ reason, it plants the seed of, maybe I could do it. So, and then I like to get on the phone with a lot of people. I think Christy does that too. But if I have someone, usually they say, no, I could never do what you do, or, oh, I don't know if I have the time, or what does it even entail? I'll usually send them an email like with a little more about it. And then I'll be like, can we just hop on the phone and I can explain a little more about it. So that is kind of what works for me. let's see. Now, when you're in these diamond push groups, you guys, and you're getting close to the starting line of diamond, now is not the time to reinvent the wheel. So just go and take action. You know, you don't need to completely change up your process, but if you can up your numbers and talk to more people, and maybe add a little more personal touch to it, like you can totally do this. So that's kind of what I had prepared for you girls. I hope that is helpful and not too like elementary for y'all, but I'll go look at the chat box.
No, I love it. I love how you set it up with order of best return. I'm like, yes, that's so incredible because it is follow-ups. And I posted in the chat, like follow-ups. If you want to have an incredible business, become a master at follow-ups. And Grant Cardone said that there was something that he put out that like 98% of his income comes from follow-ups. And if you guys don't know Grant Cardone, he has like $30 million launches. And so 98% of that is because he follow up so much, like millions of times. It's kind of crazy how many phone calls his staff does and how many emails are sent out. Like he's just a master at it. So I love that, the order of best return. And then for me, I love the last two questions. I think you guys, I post them in the chat if you guys didn't catch them or want to write them down. What would make them a good coach and why would they need this? Because those are two things just to tweak your invites that's going to help you to have better return, more people responding. So that was really good. And I get on the phone too. I love that you get on the phone.
Yeah.
I just get better results. If I didn't get on the phone, no, I feel like I'd have 3 people enrolling a month instead of 15 to 20 enrolling a month.
Totally. Yeah. If you guys can get good at the phone and not even good at it, I mean, just like consistent with it, you will sign up so many people. Like when I get on the phone with someone, it's like a 90% that they're going to say yes, versus if we go back and forth in email and, they forget to respond and all of that. So I'm trying to get my coaches to do that. And the ones that do, I had a girl last week. She's like, Molly, I got on the phone with 3 people and they all signed up. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens.
Oh, Cherie said, I love the phone, but people usually get quiet when I mention a call. I always do it as an interview. Like as much as they think that they're deciding whether they want to join this, I'm deciding if I want them on my team. Yeah. And for me, having that type of posture helps. Yeah. For people to take it a little bit more serious. Like I do want to help them and I want them to get results, but it's kind of like a 2-way street.
Totally.
Nancy's on my team. Yeah, Cass said she loves hearing the language you use. The only question, if you guys have any questions, you can post them in the chat. The only question I have is for some of the newer coaches, they're just getting started and maybe don't have a network, because that's how I started too. I didn't have a network on Facebook. How did you grow your network on Facebook so that you would have people seeing your stories and commenting on your stuff? So that's the only question that I have.
Two things that I've done on Facebook, and I mean, I still kind of do these even 5 years in, but adding friends of friends. And I know people get weird about this, but what I do is like, okay, I have my best friend, Ashley. I'll go to Ashley's friends list and I'll look down her friends for people who look like me. And I have look like my person. And I have 2 to 5 mutual friends with that aren't in the Beachbody world. Because I find that if someone sees like, oh, Molly's friendly, that it's not that weird. And most of them do it. And I do not pay attention to who accepts it versus who doesn't. And when I was really actively building, I would do that, like to add 10 new a day. You don't want to go crazy adding friends because Facebook can, put the block on you for a bit. But I usually did 10, and now I still hop in and I do that now and then when I feel like I just need new eyeballs on my stuff. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you guys do free groups, but I did a lot of free groups in the beginning. I still do them every now and then, or you have a free community or something. But every time I kick that off, I do a live video in there and I say, hey, so excited that you're in this morning routine group. Can't wait to share more with you. Anybody who adds a friend or friends and tags them in the comments is going to go into a drawing for this planner or this miracle morning book. But you got to add your friends and you got to tag them in the comments so I can see how many you added. And I give them like 5 days to add people. And then it's like my free groups just fill up with people that aren't even my people, you know? And I actually say in the live video, I want you to add people that you think would actually like this, that are going to be your accountability buddies. They're going to keep you going. Maybe it's a sister, a coworker. And then I tell them to tag them in the comments so that they're not just getting added to a random group with a girl named Molly that they don't know, but that one of their good friends added them and tagged them in this video of this girl named Molly, and now they kind of do know her. So that has worked really well for me.
I love that you share that, because it reminded me when I was a new coach, I used to go through and I would set up an event on Facebook for a challenge group. And then I would message friends and family and be like, hey, not sure if you saw this. If you're not interested, no worries, but can you do me a favor? And one, they hadn't seen it, so then they would tell me if they're interested. But then two, they'd be like, what's the favor? Like, could you go in and invite your friends on your list that you think might be interested in this? And then do like giveaways and stuff for that. Like, oh, if you invite 50 people to it, I'm going to send you a little gift. And find on Etsy, I would find these little like $2 bracelets and send to them for like.
That is cool. Yes. Yeah. Just asking them to do that. Smart.
Yeah. Oh, I would sit at work working in finance, and all of a sudden I'd go in and there'd be like 1,000 people that had been invited, because Facebook will stop you from inviting people, right? But it won't stop if you have everybody else doing it, then they don't. And so that was another way that I grew my network. I love that. You just reminded me. Oh my God. Awesome. Ashley's question was, what kind of free groups did you do?
I mean, anything and everything. Like a lot of, like I've done 5-day clean eating. I find that the ones with food tend to get more people because people really like recipes, which is funny because I'm not even like a foodie type of coach, but everyone loves a good meal plan, right? Miracle morning groups or morning routine groups have always gone really well for me. Right now, I actually have one called the Attitude of Gratitude, and it's just like positivity and gratitude practice. There's some morning routine stuff in there. Like 5-day boot camps, I've done those where it's just basically like a sneak peek into challenge group, but it's free and it's quick, 5 days. I mean, think about the things that you're passionate around, Ashley, because I think that's where you do the free group. I mean, I have a coach who does like these budgeting free groups, and I think they should be in the realm of health and fitness or personal development, but it's like she's really passionate about budgeting. Or another coach does these decluttering groups, and it's a way to build her pipeline, and she just has a lot of fun doing them. So I tried to do a 5-day free group and it ate up my life. I am going to stick to 1-day free groups or sending out a free email with a 5-day plan. Yeah, I think you got to find what works for you, for sure.
Yeah. And Sharice, to get back to that, I've been just posting in my stories that like, hey, I put together a document. I get so many questions about what I eat every day. People are like, oh, what does she eat? Mm-hmm. And so I just put a document together, but it has all the links, like when there's Shakeology, because I have it every day, or Energize, because I have it every day. There's always a link for them to order. And then I also put at the bottom, like, this is the nutrition plan I follow, Ultimate Portion Fix, like a link for that, right? So I use it as like a marketing, and then a lot of people respond back and they're like, oh, can I get that Shakeology that's in your thing?
Oh, that's cool.
So that has worked really well for me. But obviously I also post a lot about food and a lot of ab photos. So it might not work for everybody. It's what people follow us for, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it does go back to what Molly says, make sure it's like what people are following you for.
Oh, the food. Yeah, Facebook free groups used to work really well for me, and I don't know, they don't work as well for me anymore, and I don't know if it's because I'm just like a more mature coach now and my audience like knows me, or if it's because of the Facebook groups and like the algorithm. And so I don't know. My new coaches seem to be still doing them and getting good results from them. So I don't know. Free groups is kind of like a question mark for me too right now, but
yeah. I used to do 5-day like free glute challenges, like booty challenges,
Oh,
or 5-day ab challenges. And I would just have workouts for the 5 days that were abs or glutes. But the first day I would always share in the group, like, hey, if you want to get the best results, you can't spot tone any part of your body. It's about reducing fat overall, which really comes down to nutrition. So if you're into that sort of thing, for $35, you can get a 5-day sample plan of the shake I use every day and a nutrition plan to follow as well. So I would always start it a week ahead of time. So I was actually upselling in a free group right away to get people started with Shakeology.
cool.
And if you do what Molly said and you have them add their friends or family to the group and like do giveaways for that kind of stuff, then now you can have a group full of 1,000 people and you have like 50 people that then want a sample plan. So I used to do that. I should probably do that again. I used to do that and that worked really well. So if you guys are looking for some ideas to do that, maybe are a little different than what you've done before. Awesome. Yeah, Cherie's water challenge. Those always do really well.
Oh, yeah.
And you did that with the 7-day clean eating. People liked it a lot. Only $30 for a short-term commitment. Yeah, and then you can roll them into a challenge pack. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Molly, for all the tips.
Of course.
It helps to break it down just of what you guys can go do today, right? And I will post this recording in our group message pod. And then, like always, I'll post in our team page, what were your takeaways? What were your aha moments? Whatever those were, make sure that you share. I'm going to like drill this into you guys because the more you share, the more you're able to master. And the more you share, the more value you're adding to other people on the team, which when you add value, you feel valuable. And when you're mastering that, when you're sharing those things, other people are able to master things faster too. Because as I read through, that's why I learn so quickly. It's not that I'm smarter than anyone. It's because I read every single thing you guys all write. Everything. And so I'm learning from you. Oh, she picked that up. I totally missed that Molly said that because I was taking notes, but you picked it up. And so now I've learned it too. So together we get to grow faster when we socialize our learning that way. So when I post that in Ignite, just make sure in some point today or tomorrow that you go in and share the takeaways that you had, or if there's something you're going to implement or something you were reminded of that you're going to go do this week, just comment those things. Like I was just reminded at the end by Molly that I used to grow my network so easily. I need to go do that right now. So thanks, Molly, for taking time to be here with us. I know this was so helpful. I'll get the recording right up. And then again, don't forget to socialize your learning in Ignite. And are you guys all ready to make it a really great week and bring a lot of positive energy in this crazy time in our lives? The only thing I'm really excited about is when this all ends and so many people have gone backwards in their life, we are going to say that we like created so much progress in our fitness and our business. And I'm so proud of you guys all for showing up and making it happen. Have a good week. Oh, Wednesday, our team training is going to be a different link. I will put it up in the events tab in Ignite. Brad Bizjack is going to be doing a team training for us about leading through the chaos and how to really keep ourselves in a positive mindset so that we can bring more positive energy and change more lives during this time. So it's going to be a really incredible training, but it'll be a different Zoom link. And he's not sending it to me till about 12 hours prior to the training. So just make sure that you check back. I'll send it to us in the message pod as well, so you guys have the link and you can join. But it will be recorded if you can't make it. Okay, have a great day, guys. Thank you, Molly.